you guys? Sitting low, just driving, coming at you guys with another video. And as you guys can tell by the plethora of white stuff in the background, we finally got a little bit of snow here in Michigan. So what I'm doing now is I'm actually driving down to my dad's house. Why I'm going there is I'm going to pick up my old Polaris Indy. Some of my OG subscribers may remember that sled, but anyway, I figured this would be a good opportunity to demonstrate the usefulness of that sled deck that I created 8 or so years ago. And I've been using that thing without a hitch every season, you know, for the past, ever since I built it, and it's just worked flawlessly. So anyway, like I said, we finally got some snow here. I listed it for sale. I got a bunch of people interested in it, so I figured might as well go down there, grab it, bring it up to my house. That way I can go through it, drain the carbs, clean the carbs, and just get everything dialed with it. So I'll see you guys when we get down there. Doors are frozen to the ground. Alright guys, so both of these doors are frozen completely solid to the ground, so I removed the screws from the hinges. Wish me luck. This is nuts. So I finally gained access. That's what we came for. So let's try to get it out. So this thing's kind of buried in here, so I'm hoping that by getting that thing out of here and moving that little cart, we might be able to sneak this thing out. But worst come to worst, we gotta move that. Either way, let's get it. Yes, sir. All right, so I rearranged a few things in here, and we'll definitely be able to get this thing out, no problem. But like I said, I haven't ridden this sled since I tucked it in here. So any sled that's been sitting for a while, one thing you always want to do is you just want to look it over real quick, make sure that no chipmunks or mice or squirrels or anything made little nests in your air box or whatever. Let me go ahead and you can see a bunch of grass clippings and stuff under there. So yeah, doesn't look like anything really got its way into the air box, and that's what you really got to worry about. I had a sled sitting for a while, and then I just pulled it out to go ride it, and I failed to inspect like the air box and do what I'm doing now basically. And you know, a chipmunk or something packed the air box full of acorns. So as I was riding, you know, going over bumps, it jarred all the acorns and stuff loose, and an acorn got sucked right into the slide of one of the carburetors, and basically the throttle stuck wide open on it. Yeah, that was pretty scary, but luckily I knew what was kind of going on, and I was able to just hit the kill switch before I, you know, hit a tree. But yeah, that was the last time this thing was registered, 2015. Yeah, the last time I actually rode this thing was in I want to say 2017. So that was the last time I put fresh gas in it too. But like I said, I've been starting it every, you know, year, but that ain't saying much. All right guys, so I'm gonna go ahead and try to fire this thing up. How many pulls do you think it's gonna take? This one's always been a good sled, so I'm guessing maybe 10 pulls. All right, key on. Let's see if there's any. There's a little something in there. And let me tell you, whatever's in there stinks. I said 10 pulls. Let's see. Oh, there's 10. I definitely smell fuel. know, time to get this thing out of here. All right, so this sled doesn't have a parking brake, so I always bring one of these with me, just so when I get it up on the ramp and throw this on the brake, and that way it won't roll back down. So figured I would point that out. Another critical thing that I kind of forgot to mention in the first video is I actually had a lot of people contact me and comment on the last video saying how they wanted to put wheels on theirs. Well, check this out. A simple wooden broomstick handle. Once it's tipped down, it allows this thing to just roll right in. Anyway, I figured I'll point that out because that is kind of a critical element. Anyway, let's load this thing up. Alright guys, and as easy as that, we are loaded up and we are on the road. Alright you guys, so that took way longer than I expected it to. I did not anticipate having to actually remove the doors from the shed to get the sled out, but as you can see, we got what we came for. And if there's any bit of light left once we get home, I'll show you guys how I unload it, which is another question I get asked a lot, is how do I unload it? So hopefully there's some light left and I'll show you when I get home. So see you when we get there. Alright guys, I'm draining all that funky old gas out of it. Alright, so while we're at it, you guys, might as well show you this handy little siphon that I made. Just a leftover piece of brake tubing and some 1/4-inch hose. Brake tubing allows me to get to the bottom of the tank, get all that nasty gunk out of there. Yeah, comes in real handy. And we're running out. As you can see, the tank is pretty well empty now. Alright, so we got all that nasty old gas out of there, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to run it up to the gas station before I unload it and put a couple of fresh gallons of wrecked fuel in it, because that is definitely step one. Make sure you have good fresh gas in it. Alright, so here it is the next day. It ended up just getting too dark last night, so I just let it stay in the truck overnight. But anyway, let's go ahead and get this thing out of here. Alright you guys, so we got the sled unloaded, and once again the sled deck prevails. And like I said, I just wanted to include you guys in this little adventure and just kind of demonstrate just how useful this little snowmobile ramp is. And like I said, I made this thing about, I don't know, 8 or 10 years ago. I also made a video about how I made it, so if you guys would like to make one of your own, check the video description. I'll be sure to put a link to that video below. But if you guys have any questions or comments, you know, feel free to shoot them in the comment section. I'll be sure to answer them the best I can. But until then, I appreciate you guys watching. If you guys haven't already, feel free to hit that subscribe button. It really helps the channel out. But until then, this is Sitting Low signing out. I'll see you guys in the next one. All right, it's time to load another. Here it is. All right, guys, so there it is. I mean, it doesn't get much easier than that.